I think Miami kind of chose me. It showed me that there was a lifestyle that I could have that was very different from living in New York. And while I really enjoyed living in New York, I was never going to be able to live by myself and on the beach. So it just seemed like a natural progression for me to go from that kind of city lifestyle to a beachy lifestyle. And I found a place on South Beach, and it was really inexpensive, and it was mine, and it was great. It was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun. It was quieter, I would say. You had your nightlife, but it was really sectioned off to certain areas. I felt really safe. I was always walking all over the place or biking. And I met a lot of cool people in those early days, young people like me, some people a lot older who've been there for, many, many generations even. And it was just a lot of fun. And it was just such a difference, such a change from New York City. And that was great because I got to meet a lot of artists that I never would have met before, and some of these people are still my friends to this day. I think it's really important to just have all kinds of art around you all the time. And the Art Center of South Florida, they tried to keep it to a certain level in terms of how professional people were. They didn't want weekend, painters, but they definitely accepted all styles of art making. And so that really was helpful. And, Fountainhead is like that also. The styles, the techniques that artists use, it really runs the gamut. And it allows us to all kind of talk to each other about different ideas and, learn new things. So the Art Center was really great. We had a gallery on the main floor of the main building, which was the 800 building on Meridian and Lincoln Road. And so you were right off of this really great promenade pavilion where you could just walk around at night, have dinner, have drinks, get there early in the morning, have coffee, and see just when the restaurants are opening up, all the shops are opening up. You can kind of be there at the beginning of, and have a reason to be there as opposed to being drunk all night and then winding up on Lincoln Road. And so I really enjoyed that. I loved getting up early and then going to my studio and taking a break and having a cigarette on the side, one of the little side walls. And, it was just a really cool time. And I had that studio for some years. Also during that time I switched around studios. And, sometimes I needed something bigger, and then there were times when, finances weren't so great, so I had to get something smaller. And we were able to do that. Artists were able to move their spaces around. Well, to be fair, people were already going to the mainland for shows. And people live there as well, right? So even though I was living on South Beach initially, and then I moved to the mainland, Wynwood just started developing. So as I mentioned earlier, Dorsch Gallery was in Wynwood, and it was kind of like the only place where, you could go and see an art show, but it was also like a lot of fun. And sometimes there would be a band playing, and sometimes there might be a video playing, and it was just a very eclectic, creative bunch of people that were coming through there. And but at the same time, it could be really a little dicey. And my friends and I used to make jokes about how you might see a pack of roosters walking by, or tumbleweed rolling by. It was just kind of, you didn't know what you were going to get. Because at night the businesses would all close, and so there would be nothing going on except this gallery. And so you're parking your car on streets, and maybe you're paying someone to look up for your car. It was just all very interesting. And so compared to the way Wynwood is today, it's like night and day, like literally. I mean, it's really bright, you know, the streets have been repaved, you know, it's glitter everywhere. I like a mix of artists. Larry Pittman, he's a Los Angeles-based artist, and I absolutely love his work. I've always loved his work from when I was like a 20-year-old. I used to live in Los Angeles for a couple of years, and every time he had a show, I would go and see the work. And so that made a big impression on me, especially because I hadn't been to art school yet. This was pre-art school. So it was really at that point, living in Los Angeles, I went to an exhibition called, oh gosh, I can't believe it. I forgot the name of it, but it was in a space called the Contemporary, which is now morphed into this museum. And they had an exhibition there that was, gosh, I cannot remember the name of it, but it was so pivotal in that it was showcasing all of these Los Angeles artists who were really saying political things in their work, really making political statements. The exhibition was focused on a lot of different political ideas of the times. A lot of paintings and two-dimensional artworks, one of them being Larry Pittman, whose work I really love. There were also artists like Barbara Kruger, and you know, to see like one of these, you know, bold written pieces, you know, usually like red background, white bold type, you know, just so powerful to see these like words larger than life, you know, telling you about your life. And it's just, you know, she's just phenomenal. I always loved her work as well. And but then just a real mix of young artists who have now gone on to become like really well known and respected. So, you know, I wasn't in art school yet, and to go to that show, I was super excited. And I knew that that was what I wanted to do. I came back from Los Angeles, came back to New York, and I decided I was going to be an artist. So I went to school. I went to the School of Visual Arts in Manhattan in New York, and I went there for 4 years and graduated with a degree in fine art, studio work. And you know, I've been painting ever since. I've been making art ever since. Well, there is a show coming up at the Orlando Museum of Art, and it is the Florida Prize. And so I have some friends in that. I was in one of these iterations a couple of years ago, before COVID. And it's very exciting. They nominate 10 artists from all over Florida. And then there's a kind of a jury process that happens, and someone is awarded the grand prize. And I believe it's like $50,000 or $25,000. But it's really great exposure. And the Orlando Museum of Art is a beautiful museum. It's in a park that has like little water, like lake views, and it's just really cool and green, and just a nice change. And so this year I'm going, a friend of mine is in the show this year, so I'm very excited for her, Sarah Stites. While that show is going on, there is also an exhibition of Basquiat artwork, Jean-Michel Basquiat. So that's very exciting. And these are supposed to be drawings, I think, or works that haven't been seen for a really long time. So it'll be something different that I haven't seen of his work. Well, I have an exhibition coming up at the Dunedin Art Center in early summer. So, and that's in Dunedin, Florida, but it's a solo exhibition, so I'm looking forward to that. And then following that, I have a show with my gallery, Frederic Snitzer, and that will be in the fall. And in the following year, I will have a show in Chicago with my gallery, Carl Hammer, in the fall. I'm sorry, in the spring of next year. So I have a few things going on. And if you're, if anyone's interested in seeing my work, I do show my work with Frederic Snitzer Gallery. So I have a pretty large inventory of work there that people can see. I'm trying to think if I have some collection stuff going on. Oh, actually I have a piece that is in the Bass Museum right now, an artwork, a painting. And so I'm very excited about that. I have a work at the Bass Museum of Art, it's a painting, and it's in their loan exhibition, which is Collections and Loans on View. And it's a long running exhibition. They switch artworks out throughout the period. And it consists of works that are kind of old and things that don't get shown as often. And they create kind of a dialogue with new artists, new works, and the works are shown in a salon style. So it's all very spread out within the room. And that'll be up for a while. And then following that, I'll have work at the Dunedin Art Center in Dunedin, Florida. And then I have a show at my gallery, Frederic Snitzer, that will be in the fall, in September. And then the following year, I will have work at my gallery in Chicago, which is the Carl Hammer Gallery. A new place that I just went to is the Sin Gastro Pub and Bar, and that is on 98th and Northeast 2nd Avenue, which is Miami Shores. And they have outdoor seating, kind of like little couches, but they also have some tables. And it's really eclectic, it's really fun. They have great music, I have to admit. There were times we were having conversation and someone would stop and say, "That's a good song, that's good," And so if you're with your girlfriends and you're just having a happy hour, it's a lot of fun, and we really enjoyed it. Little bites of food to eat, and the drinks are really well priced. So you can get any number of drinks. I like Prosecco myself, so that's what I had. Where else? I also go to the Citadel. I've been there a few times, many times really, again with girlfriends, happy hour. And it's centrally located, so that makes it very easy for people to get to. They have parking on the premises, so that's very helpful. And it's a cool little funky spot. And actually they have a shop within the Citadel. So, if it's someone's birthday or you're going to a party and you want to bring the host a gift or something, it's actually a cute little place where you can get like cool t-shirts or like magnets or, just really eclectic stuff. So I do like that a lot. And within the Citadel, you just go to the bar, you get a drink. They have very good happy hour pricing. They also have all kinds of food there, so you can go to the different food stalls. It's a food hall, and you can, get something to eat and then bring it back to your table, and you can share it. So everybody can get a little bit of something. There's barbecue, there's Italian, there's really, my favorite is Little Louse. Oh my gosh, it's so great. And it's just a good vibe. Everyone's there to have a good time, and again, great music, so it just keeps the energy up, and it's cool, it's fun. And across the street from there is Sherwood's, and Sherwood's great for brunch. I also like to go for dinner, but really the only reason I like going there is their Caesar kale salad. I love that salad. I would eat kale all the time. That's like the best. I'm trying to figure out how to do the recipe, and some of my friends have explained to me how to massage the kale and do all that. So I'm gonna try to do it one of these days, do my own version of it. But the food is really good, and the staff is really friendly. And again, it's another one of these kind of eclectic places. They have outdoor seating, so that's really good right now.